Welcome everybody to the... it just occurred to me that I have to think of something to call my fans, my subscribers. Okay, let's try this out. How about the disciples of disaster? I like that idea. Well, if you have any other suggestions, leave them down in the comments or shove them up. Anyway, welcome everybody to the third official episode of Nat One News. I'm your host, Dr. Disaster, and if you don't know how this show works by now, well... Okay, so last episode I had to cut a lot of things out because most of it was boring, but there was one portion that I do regret cutting out because it was actually really funny. But the episode was running a little bit long, so I was kind of forced to regardless. I think it was there was a section that we came across on Mike.com that had to do with, it was something to do with violent video games and the alternatives to playing those games. And as is to be expected, the suggestions were completely retarded. So I'm going to go ahead and refer you to the past version of Dr. Disaster, who will take you on that section of our little adventure, and then you'll come back here and we'll continue with another roll of the dice. Well, I'll see you when you get back. Hit it! 10 most violent video games of 2017 and what to play instead? If there's violent video games out there to be played, that's what I want to be playing, because those are the games that are fun. If you don't want any violence in your game, be sure to check out our list of non-violent games for Xbox One, whatever. So, instead of playing a badass game like Bulletstorm, instead of having fun mowing down hordes of bandits in some of the most creative, insane, and coolest ways possible, they want you to play a game about collecting geometric shapes and babysitting robots. No. Nobody plays Conan Exiles, so you don't have to worry about that. Dark Souls 3. What do they want you to play instead of that? Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Instead of playing a masterpiece of dark horror fantasy like Dark Souls, they want you to play Legend of Zelda Let's Keep Beating That Dead Horse. And instead of Dead by Daylight, instead of a really good and unique multiplayer game, they want you to play Five Nights at Freddy's Let's Keep Beating the Dead Horse. So instead of playing a game with an actual unique combat system and a unique idea that we haven't really seen in video games before, taking a one-on-one fighting engine and putting it into a multiplayer, and putting it into an open multiplayer 3D space. So instead of playing that, they want you to play, hey, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds did pretty good. Let's just make that, but cel-shaded. People should be playing either of these games. Don't play Cuphead instead of playing Friday the 13th, the game. Play Friday the 13th, the game, and Cuphead. What the f***? Wait, hold on a second. Instead of playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, they want you to play Destiny 2? Destiny 2, a game about slaughtering hordes and upon hordes of alien creatures. How is that different? How is that less violent than PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds? Also, a PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds ripoff was the substitute for For Honor. Oh my god. There's a new Sniper Elite game coming out? Yeah, no, just play Overwatch. Actually, no, don't play Overwatch because you, Blizzard. Don't play Overwatch as a substitute for anything. Just straight up don't play Overwatch, because Blizzard for popularizing the idea of loot boxes in AAA gaming and substituting garbage game balancing with complaining about the community. Alright. enough of that, asshole. Enough around in the past, let's get to rolling in the present. All right, last week I tried to drop it super high. I'm gonna see if I can do that again. No, god damn it! Ugh. All right, note to self, stop trying to drop the dice from super high and just drop it. God damn it.
How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes.
Let's try this again, shall we? 18. Hey, didn't we roll an 18 last week? We rolled an 18 last week and it was Mike.com. We're not going to the same website 2 weeks in a row. Let's roll again. 18 again, are you kidding me? Jesus Christ, no, stop trying to bring me back to Mike.com. That place is cancer. Game reviews roundup. Actually, you know what? Since that little last week's segment at the beginning of the episode was a thing about gaming, why not make the theme of this episode gaming? So let's see what the Guardian has to say about the video game reviews roundup. Okay, yeah, here I want to know about this. The expansion, it was an expansion. So why is the entire game being marketed as Horizon Zero Dawn: The Frozen Wilds? The post-apocalyptic combat-driven RPG made Horizon Zero Dawn. No, it's not an RPG because in an RPG you can create your own character. I'm sick of. Okay, actually no. Now that I think about it, because The Witcher, I guess you could technically call an RPG, except you're playing it. I don't know. Never mind. Also, what the is Horizon Zero Dawn supposed to mean? Honestly, what does that mean? What's another gaming-related thing that they have on here? Familiar. Call of Duty World War II review. Familiar, fun, but not without flaws. Gee, maybe one of the major flaws being the fact that you could play as a black dude who's also a Nazi, which never happened, like ever. Or how about the fact that it's just another fucking Call of Duty game that nobody asked for and nobody wanted. Roll again. 4. What's 4? Rolling Stone. And for those of you who are wondering why Rolling Stone is on this list, you'll see. My point exactly, they have Eminem on the front page. Even after he decided to be a whiny little bitch. King Cruel. I feel like Nintendo should be suing this fucker. King Cruel sounds a hell of a lot like King K. Rool. Or is it... Wait, is it actually King? No, it's just, I think the character's name is just King Cruel. No, actually, no, it might be King. Well, yeah, anyway, this should be getting sued. That's copyright infringement. What the Rolling Stone, wait, Rolling Stone has a video game section? Yeah, dude. Are they really trying to glorify loot boxes? How loot boxes led to never-ending games and always paying players. Actually, no, wait. This is something I touched on briefly in that section in the beginning from last week's episode. Things like skins for characters, those should be a reward. Those should be something that people have to earn. Those should be something that people have to earn not through hours and hours of fucking grinding, but for, say, completing a challenge or something. They shouldn't have to grind for hours and hours and hours on end. Just for the hope of unlocking the skin that they want. You know what? You know what's gonna be great? Companies that don't do this shit are gonna start making more money because they don't do this shit. Which means loot boxes are eventually gonna fade out. And that thought right there is exactly what's prevented me from putting a bullet in my head every time I look at my PlayStation 4. Paying $40 for a handful of loot boxes, that's not a microtransaction. You might as well be buying a whole nother game. As a matter of fact, there are entire games that you can get for less. Far Cry Blood Dragon was an amazing game, and that only cost $20. And it only was a gigabyte to download. And I must have played through that game 10 times when I was a kid. Or when I was younger, rather, back in high school when it came out. New Pokemon Go event, implying anyone is still playing Pokemon Go. More Curse of Osiris details coming tomorrow. Yay! We're bringing back all the shit that was from the first Destiny into the new one. Hope you like paying $60 for a whole new game that didn't change anything. Disney sides with the fans. Woo! We have the backing of Disney on our side. Too bad I didn't play Battlefront, and I don't have any interest in the Battlefront games because I don't like first-person shooters. Well, my disciples of disaster, I sure had fun, and I hope you did too. This has been Nat One News. I've been your host, Dr. Disaster. Be sure to join me again next time when we let the dice take us on another fantastic adventure, and I'll see you next time.